Hello everybody and welcome to Sweden in pretty dark November. It is Sunday afternoon. It's a 3:15 or something in the afternoon, and I am Sara, running this YouTube channel and also running this nursery and flower farm in south of Sweden. And we aim to give you a few videos now and then from our business to show you how it's like to run this kind of business in Sweden. Most of you who subscribe my channel, you are used to follow me in my home gardens, growing vegetable for my family. But this year is a bit different since I took over this business by New Year in January 2022. So for this year, I have been quite busy with this new business and not able to give you videos as usual. But I am trying to catch up now and to share a bit of what we are doing. And today I want to invite you to the nursery and the little shop to show you. Sorry, someone is calling. It's my husband, I better take this. Hallå ja? Se om du kan ta med lite fika också kanske. Jättemysigt, ses vi sen. Puss puss, hej då. It was not my husband. It was my son. He was a bit bored and he wanted to come to work with me. Some of you asked about this remarkable garden tool bag, and it is actually a product that I have designed with help from a clothing company, Operos. I can tell you more about this project further on, but you find this, I attach a link so you can read more. What was I going to say about this? I forgot where I was. We are going to try to catch up to show you the business more or less. And today it's November 13. It's Sunday. In Sweden it is Father's Day. Quite an important day. And we have decided to have opened the shop Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Usually we are opened in Fridays only. But once a month during the fall we want to have open. But I have not made a very good research. We see that when we are open at the same time as, there are events in other parts of this region, people do not come here. And this have been the same in spring and summer and also in fall. And this weekend is a big Christmas market just a short way from here. So it's very peaceful, it's very calm, and it's also a bit sad because we have worked pretty hard to find nice things to sell in the shop. Hey! There is actually a really nice cafe 2 kilometers away. This road. It's a beautiful old place and very creative people who run this. And I heard that they have had quite a calm day too. So I just want to walk you through the place and show you how it's like now when we are opened. And this is a Swedish sign saying open. We did have some candles and lightning yesterday, but today it's so calm, so we simply didn't light up this place. Basically it looks like, you come home to someone. We did apply for a parking lot away from the fence. The municipality did not approve it, unfortunately. So we have not very much, space to park. We have 5 cars by the house, and we can have 5 cars also here. So it's a tiny space for parking. But when we have had like plenty of people, they park along the road, which is not very good, but until we have solved this problem, this is what it has to be. A day like this, we are usually 2 people working, and that is because we never know when people come here. We can be so surprised, we can plan for a calm day, and I can be here by myself, and all of a sudden it turns out up like 200 people or something, and you can't handle it. So we have said we have to be 2 people, or at least 2 people who are prepared to be here. So today I am here, and also my colleague Tuve, and a new colleague, Åsa. She is going to help us a lot, basically from spring, winter time, so that we can be open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week, more or less. Because, as I said, it's a bit tricky to tell when people would like to come here, and sometimes we are very surprised. So we don't want to miss a good opportunity to sell things. We can produce actually so many plants and flowers and a lot of things, but they are not worth anything if we can't sell them. So this is something that I have to work a lot at for next year, and the start of that is actually to have people here who can help me. Hello. Ta-da! We find Tuve. Hi Tuve.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
You want to tell us what you're doing?
I'm planting this
tulip bulbs.
Tulip bulbs. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna bloom here, magical in the springtime.
Yeah. This is actually an old greenhouse. So the ground is left, and we have grown like midsummer flowers here for years, and now we have turned this into a lovely spring tulip flowering place with rims, more or less like palette colors, and we fill them with tulips. I think it's like 34 varieties.
Yeah, something like that.
And we hope that people will come here from April and May to pick their own tulips.
Yeah,
it will be amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. I can just imagine all the kids playing around here and picking flowers and with their friends. And,
and all their moms.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially the moms.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of time to do this work, and all the things that we do now is a preparation for spring. We did sell plenty in winter, early winter, and also in spring, and then less in summer, and even lesser in fall. So spring is our most important time of the year. So it's very important for us to prepare a lot of plants. This will actually be the thing for coming months. It will look this way with lots and lots of plants. These are the pansies, and we have some other varieties, some other plants that thrive in cold climates. So they overwinter here in a cold greenhouse. We have some heating on during winter, basically to keep it from freezing, but otherwise it's cold. So we overwinter things here. And this is a work that we do in the beginning of fall to plant all the pansies and other plants as a preparation for spring when we sell them. We did have a terrible accident a couple of weeks ago when we got here one morning, and this table crashed. And this is such a disappointment, yes. I did know that it was a bit fragile. It's very old, so I have made a call, and hopefully our carpenter Fredrik is going to have a look at it and maybe help us, because we are in desperate need of this space because it's overloaded with flowers. It's very exciting to see all the plants, and I have had some questions about this. If I buy plants, perennial plants, and sell in our shop, etc., and that is what most places like this do. It's very easy to, to get plants and you sell them and you earn some money. The difference in between, buying and selling. But what I like to do is to continue this really nice work growing your own plants. And this is what the nursery have done for 70 years. And I want to continue that work because that is what I find the most, it's exciting to have all the knowledge here. And it's just for me to learn. And I think if I do that well, and I also can tell about what we are doing, people would like to come here and to see what we're doing and also to buy the plants. And this is one important thing for me when we have a day like this or a weekend like this when we are open, even if people may not come here, in masses. There are not that many customers that I wanted to. Here's Åsa. Hey, Åsa. Hey. It's important for me to notice that when they do come here, they buy things. So if we have less customers one day, they still buy. And if we have many customers, they buy basically the same amount. And the work for me to do is to get people to come here. But it's a bit hard for us to conquer with a really huge Christmas market, like the one who starts today. So that's a challenge, of course, but we have many other days. These are amaryllis that we grow in our #1 greenhouse. I will bring you there. What we do is that when they sort of release the bud, we remove them from the heat. So we start them in a small tunnel, heated with, I think you call it heat mats, from underneath, and they release their buds, and we then remove them from the heat, and we put them in a cold greenhouse. This is not heated by the moment, and we actually have the windows in the roofs are opened to make it a bit cooler. And when you place the amaryllis in a cold space, they grow slower. So it's very important. Whoops, it's a bit dark in here. I'll light up for you. This is where I spend part of my day to plant some narcissus, tête-à-tête. Ta-da! Let's go into the dark. This is our the basement. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what is the English correct word for this place, but it is it's like a basement. This is our workspace on the other side of the roof, and this is where we keep our tulips that we are going to grow in the greenhouse. So we plant the tulips in the trays with it's like a very light compost and sand on top to keep algae and stuff like that away. And now it's amazing because you can actually see the roots coming out of the trays, and it's a sign that they are starting to grow, and you can spot the tulips. We only have 5 trays of bulbs left to plant, and I have released some space today up here and underneath for the trays. There are going to be 30 trays with tulips left. And we also place the trays on top of each other to save space. So here we have the grape hyacinths and the tête-à-tête and crocus, So we have had our first orders of Ranunculus, the Ranunculus that we grow for cut flowers, but we also grow Ranunculus as a low variety in pots, and that is what we are waiting for now. So when my son arrives, we are going to fill the dirt in pots to prepare for that. No matter what time of year you come here as a customer, this is a place for work, and well, it shows that we work. There are things that we need for work in every spot. And I find it kind of interesting to show also how it looks like when we work. This is not like a fancy shabby chic shop. This is something different. And that is also what I found interesting when I came here and was told that no one was ready to take over this business. Here are some perennials, as you can see, both on top of the tables and underneath the table. We don't know yet how to keep them over winter, but we will try to overwinter them here. That's the plan. We may lose some of them, but most of them are very hardy. So, an important thing is that this nursery have mainly sold like annual flowers from seeds and also from plug plants that we buy. A dream for the farmer owner, Anna-Stina, have been to have perennial plants to sell. There are so many wonderful perennials growing at the farm. So what we did this year was to actually dig some of them up and to plant them. They are not here, of course. We have moved them, but also to sow perennials and herbs and a lot of plants. So we actually go into this fall well equipped. Do you say that? With lots and lots of plants that never have been in this area before. So it's amazing. It's fantastic. And I mean, I don't know how this will work in spring, but I do hope that when we have all the type of flowers and plants, people will be interested, and maybe it will also increase the interest for the nursery in the farm. And if not, we have plenty of nice things to plant ourselves in the flower farm. This is how it looks like now. And the theme for next week is to clear up this space. For almost 70 years, this has been a farm run in a very traditional way. I don't know the correct words how to describe, how to work with the ground, etc. But it's done by machines and like a traditional farm, but in a smaller scale. But for me to come here and to drive through this ground, with heavy machines and to pack all the soil and to it's not the way that I want to grow and care for this space. I want to make sure that when I leave this place, it will be in a better shape. I want to give back things to the ground. So hopefully in spring this year was the last time we used a plow or to work the soil with a machine, with heavy machines. So what we did this year is actually that we built huge compost piles. This is silage on top of the ground, and then we have lots and lots of plant materials from the dahlias, etc. And also we empty our compost bins from the Workspace. Here you can have a look. So we just build this pile up in different layers and then cover it up with silage. And we have now 3 of the piles in this area. And it also divides this big area in a good way into 4 quarters. That will make it easier for me to plan the space for next year. So the plan now is to simply... We have a very small like rotor tiller that till the top level of the soil. And we will keep doing that at least next year, maybe the year after that. In my dreams, we have more, beds that we never move. Sorry, I seem to forget the words, but I know you understand what I mean. So this quarter is going to be number 1. We are going to plant some bulbs and also some spring flowering, the earliest cool flowers. And we're going to plant them already now. So this will be the earliest part flowering, and then working with the other parts. The upper part on this side, I want to turn it into a perennial part. It's a lot of work. I mean, you can never imagine how much work it is. And sometimes we spend like 70 or 90% of our time working with this area. But looking at the money that we get from this area, it might be like 6% or 10%. So we have to do something about that. Creating a way to grow this place without using that much power or energy or time. And I mean, I think that will be quite easy to do, and hopefully we can get some money from it too. So I will just use my experience from other type of gardening. And with good help from my colleagues, I am very excited about next year and what it will bring us. This is a sign saying that, hello, come and dig up your own chrysanthemum. These are chrysanthemum that Anna-Stina have grown here at the flower farm for decades. And chrysanthemum is a wonderful flower to grow in our climate in Sweden. Basically because it flowers very, very late in the season. So when nothing else is left, we still have the chrysanthemum, which is great. And we grow chrysanthemum more or less like the dahlias. So in fall, we dig up some plants and we overwinter them in trays in greenhouse number 2, cold. And in springtime, they start to grow and we plant the old plants, and we also take cuttings to create new plants. So for this weekend, we asked our customers to come and dig up the rest of the chrysanthemum so that we'll have a use for them instead of, throwing them in the compost. But, well, people are busy with the Christmas market, so I guess there will be a huge compost pile with chrysanthemum. Here we have leftovers from... Do you say, in Sweden, it's quite a new tradition to celebrate Halloween, but we do have a very important, I don't know what you call it, but it's a Sunday, but it's in the week, and we celebrate All Saints Day. It's not a celebration, it's more of a day to honor people who loved ones who are not longer with us. So we decorate the graves. And we have spent 2 or 3 weeks producing 600, 700 or 800, more likely 800 decorations for graves. And we have traditional ways to do it from this nursery. This is a flat one that you lay on the grave, and we have the wreaths. And a lot of other types, but these are wreaths for to hang on the door. We have produced plenty of decorations for this All Saints Day, and we have sold basically all of them, so it's very good. So I wanted to show you how our little shop looks like when we are open, because as Tuve said in the Swedish video earlier this day, that this place is transformed when we are opening in Fridays. So before Friday, it's a quite chaotic place with a lot of dirt laying around and bits and pieces of everything, and in Thursday afternoon we clear up the space and we put together all the things that we like to sell and show. So when we are open, we have this space, the little shop, and it didn't look like this when I took over this place. There were no benches in the middle and no benches over here. It was covered up with things. It was kind of messy, a lovely mess, and like a warm mess too. You feel something when you come into this place, and you almost breathe all the work and the hard passion that people have spent here working for 70 years. But since I didn't want to go to the farmers market in the city that often as before, I wanted to have this space where people can actually come here, and where it's comfortable, where you have a place where you can pay, and and also to have this. Here is the customer space, and here are the space where we can work, etc. So we do have some other plans on how to create things better, but we take it piece by piece. So this is the traditional bench that Anastina's father built, and our carpenter Fredrik, he helped me in the beginning of the year to build benches that matched the height and everything, but are more practical, where we can hide some things. So nearly every time when we are open, we fill up this space with the plants. And here are mostly things that we have grown ourselves and decorated with paper and moss. So now we have the amaryllis. And my God, I don't know the plant name for this in English. It is... I will remember it in just a while. We make this groups of flowers. This is very popular among Anastina's older customers. A combination with flowers. We have some small, tiny bouquets. They are very popular when we have people who come here. This one is actually made from leftovers from the arrangements that we did for a funeral. So this is the plants. And over here we have some seeds, some garlic. Guess this is all that is left. We have sold plenty of garlic this this fall. We will have to order more of them for next year. Ranunculus and anemones. This is the first weekend with them in the store for this fall. Basically, it's like this in Sweden that the web shops, etc., they start to sell ranunculus and anemones in springtime, and that is kind of silly because the season for those plants in Sweden are quite short. They need approximately 4 to 5 months in soil before they flower. And if you put them in soil and you plant them in, let's say, April, they will flower quite late in the season. They will also flower a very short period of time because they do not thrive in heat. So when it's very sunny and very warm, they sort of wilt and they rest during summer and then will start to grow in fall again. So it's better to simply plant them when it's cold outside. You may force them indoors and then plant them in your greenhouse, for example, in February. That's what we do at home. So I thought it would be a nice idea to sell them by now or from now. Here are my books. I don't know if you have seen my books. I have written 8 books by now, and here are some of them. We do actually plan for a new book. I can tell you later on what it's going to be about. Here are this nice garden tool bag that I have sort of designed together with Johanna, who have produced it along with Oprose. This is what we wear. The greenhouse number 1 with the plant light lit over the tomatoes and the herbs and some sowings. And underneath we find the amaryllis. So here it is very warm, and from 1 hour to next you can spot the bulbs coming up from the amaryllis. So here you have to check at least once or twice a day and then simply remove the amaryllis. And then we carry them into greenhouse number 2. A lot of people, oh my God, check this out. This is the funniest part with all of this work. It's when you sow something or you plant something, a bulb or whatever, and then all of a sudden you pass the tray and oh, it's growing. And here are some freesia. Do you spot that? I planted them in, of course I didn't write the date, maybe a week or so. These are double multicolored freesia, and we grow them. We started doing that last winter. We forced them in the greenhouse, and we simply have some cut flowers that we grow ourselves, who are a little bit more exclusive, because no, I will get back to that later on. Here is something else that people, that was what I was going to tell you. You see this? I did show you a couple of weeks ago in a short at my page at YouTube, making a bouquet with flowers, leftovers from the funeral arrangements, and also some homegrown greens. And what I used in that bouquet was actually, check this out, a geranium. In Sweden we call them Dr. Westerlunds. I had what we call in Sweden a snilleblixt. Is when you get this aha idea. I was going to make a funeral wreath for a loved person in my family, a funeral. And my mother told me that this person did not like fall, so I had to keep it, in bright colors, in light colors. And I also wanted to keep like a connection from our family through the plants, so what to use. And I I did a round here in the greenhouse, and then I saw the geraniums. They are actually from my mother. So I thought I would use that in the wreath. And by then they were in like traditional plants on the table. But I then spent an evening to transplant them into the pots and put them in the roof hanging. And now they take like no space on the table. I'm very, very satisfied with that. And also I can use the long stems as green leaves, you know, in the bouquets, and it's just amazing. Usually it's very nice place here in the greenhouse when we are opened and there are lots and lots of people, because, you know, people, they stroll around here and they talk and they say things to each other about the plants, and you know, they have some questions, and it's very interesting to listen to people. And also I get very happy to see people walk around here. And at this very point, there are a few things that you can actually buy here. We have some green leaves, and we have some lemongrass and some herbs and etc. But most of the plants are actually for sale in the beginning of winter, let's say January or something like that. And what we do now is we wait. In 2 weeks, we are going to clear this table up, remove or move the plants to another space. I don't know where yet. And then we fill up the whole table with thousands of hyacinths that we grow. We start them outside in a cold frame. So we take them in and then sell them. So in just a short while it will be filled up with pots. And we do that 1st of Advent, and then in 3rd or 4th of December we then carry in all the Christmas tulips. They are a short variety called Brilliant Star. And we put them into this tent, the heated tent. They need lots and lots of heat and also moisture. And we force them and harvest them before Christmas. And also we have a taller variety of tulip, Avant-Garde. It's a double tulip, cream colored. And it is also, you know, it smells wonderful, and we are going to grow that one for New Year, so we're going to have wonderful bouquets. I hope, don't know if it works, but we hope we will have wonderful bouquets for sale by New Year. And hopefully it will be more people coming to the shop by then than today. We have had only a few customers. It's been very, very calm. But of course, while having a calm day, we are also able to do a lot of work, planting and, well, prepare things. And that's also a very good thing. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's getting dark in Sweden. And now you have spent almost an hour walking with me through this flower farm and nursery in Sweden. Really nice to show you how it looks like, and you are very welcome back. Thank you for hanging around with us, and please leave a comment if you want to ask something or give me some advice or so. And hopefully in a while I will be back with a new video, maybe around Christmas time, so that I can show you how it looks like then with all the flowers that we have, I hope. So bye bye. Have a nice time.